Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei was neglected by family and became the dark dragon Kamish from Solo Leveling movie. Before we start, please go support IsseiOmniversalCaos for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Issei is a boy like any other, but he used to suffer the beatings and humiliations of his brothers and parents until his heart was illuminated upon meeting someone who would change everything. But as time passed, Issei awakened a fearsome and very powerful being, more powerful than Trixie or Great Red and Office combined. Chapter 1. Issei. You know, I thought my life would be like everyone else's, happy, laughing and playing with my siblings, but that didn't last long. My life turned into hell when Rias' Gremory appeared and told my parents about the supernatural world and the sacred gears, which were creations of God before the faction war. My sister Tania possessed Tiamat, the dragon of karma, and my older brother Max had Morgott, the blue fire dragon. I made up this name. And I didn't have one. My parents, along with my siblings and I, beat me and tortured me until they instilled in me the lie that I was a pervert. In first grade, all my classmates mocked and beat me, and not even the teachers helped me because they believed all of it. When I did excellently on every assignment, for some reason they said it was wrong when everything was correct. And I discovered that kid is a jerk. I want him to leave this school. I can't stand hearing his screams anymore. It's good to see him suffer. I never forgot that day. I even became cold towards others. One day, they were trying to hurt a very pretty girl, about 9 years old, just like me. Her name was Izuki Kazami. Very pretty in my opinion. White hair that reached her hips, purple eyes, white skin, and she also had a lovely voice. I intervened to prevent them from hurting her. Boy. But look what we have here, it's the school pervert. Did too. Hey, you useless idiot, move aside if you don't want to end up like her. I told them. I don't care, I can't let them hurt her. Child 3. Then he suffers. She was going to hit me, but I reacted and stopped the blow. I didn't let her hit me, and I broke her nose and even her hand. I just kicked the others in the face, making them bleed a lot. The other children started to fear me, and even the teachers were afraid of me after seeing how I beat those 3 until they were in very bad shape. I warned them never to mess with her or me. After that, I helped Kazuki up. She thanked me and invited me to eat with her during recess. Of course, I couldn't say no, since I had already grown fond of her. From that day on, she and I became very close. Even her parents thanked me for saving her from those kids. When they saw me all bruised, they helped me with my wounds. Kazuki just kept hugging me, and I let her hug me. We drew pictures together, like friends. She would draw me on a beach, and I would draw her sitting on a hill looking at a waterfall. She was surprised by how I painted her. Even her parents were surprised because they loved art and sold it for a good price. They asked me if I could give them my paintings, and of course, I couldn't refuse. They helped me and were kind to me, so I said yes. They sold 5 paintings I had for 10,000 each, and people bought them, making a lot of money. They gave me 20,000 for myself. I told them it wasn't necessary, but they refused to give it to me. I cried not from sadness but from happiness. I hugged them as if they were my parents. Kazuki gave me a painting of her and me sitting together watching the city at night. She kissed me on the cheek. I knew she felt something for me, but I didn't want to tell her how I felt until the right moment. I went back home but didn't find my parents because they had gone to work, leaving Tania alone with me. I put my painting aside but. What the hell are you doing? My sister came into my room furious, especially when she found out that I was friends with Kazuki. Issei. Tania, what are you doing here? Tani. Tell me it's not true that you and that girl are friends. Issei. If she's my friend, I don't have any friends, and that's thanks to you guys. Nobody likes me. All the girls hate me just because. Tani. Listen to me carefully, Issei, you belong to me and not to that stupid girl. I can't allow you to leave my side. She grabbed my neck with her glove in her hand. I felt my neck burning. I tried to break free from her grip. When she saw me almost unable to breathe, she reacted and let go. Tani. Issei, I'm sorry. I punched him hard in the nose until it bled. Tania. Issei, why? Issei. I hate you all. She loves me. You only care about me. I don't feel anything for you. She just started crying, but when she saw the painting, she became even more enraged. I saw her visiting the painting. She charged her power and fired it, but I intervened, taking the hit myself. The blow was so strong that it made me bleed a lot. Tania tried to help me, but I pushed her out of my room, preventing her from entering. I felt a great hatred for her, especially for Rias, because of her, my family hates me, and everyone else does too. Time passed and I received more blows and taunts from the others, but that didn't matter to me. I was happy with Kazuki's family, and with her too. Her parents and we painted together a large wall of the city at night with fireworks, another of the silver with a view of the sunset and the stars, a lunar eclipse. We were very talented and we earned a large sum of money, and even though her family was rich, they only gave me 20,000 or 10,000, even if it was little, for me it was more than enough. One day my parents discovered I had saved money and took it from me, saying that everything I owned belonged to them. I tried to take my money back, but they cut my arm and destroyed the painting Kazuki had given me. I cried seeing my favorite painting destroyed. They left my room, but not before I hit them with the photos I had. I threw everything I had at them until they bled from the head. They looked me in the eyes and saw the blood and decided it was best to leave me alone. I locked the door and set about hiding the money I had hidden because I knew they would find out I had it there. I collected the paint and repaired it, or rather, I remade it, but I kept it hidden under the floorboards, just like my money, which was 1,500,000. When night fell, I went to Kazuki's house, where, seeing me bleeding from my arm, they received me very worried, and I told them what they had done, which made them angry, but I told them that it was not necessary to be angry, because I told them that they did not take everything from me, and I rebuilt the painting. Kazuki-sam's mother healed my arm. Kazuki's father Alfred asked me if I wanted to go draw something he wanted just for me, and I said yes. I gave them something I had kept hidden, and it was for them. It was them gathered outside their house with a smile and me by their side holding Kazami's hand. They hugged me, thanking me, and I just told them there were no problems. I went to the paint room and started painting with Kazuki, but the other day I had a dream where I was face to face with a huge red dragon. But the other night it wasn't that one, but an even bigger and more fearsome one. Kazuki and I painted, first the red dragon flying above the mountains, and the other was the same, only on top of the colossal dragon flying over the mountains. Kazuki came in and asked me, "Hey Issei, do you want to take a bath with me?" I simply replied, "If there's no problem." We both went into the bathroom. I took off all my clothes first, standing naked in front of her, but she wasn't embarrassed. She took off her clothes too, removing the white dress she was wearing and her white bra, revealing her rather small breasts, about 5 or 6 centimeters. She just pulled down her white panties, which I thought were pretty, turning around completely naked. I just looked into her eyes, but she took my hand and led me to the bathroom so she could help me, but not before throwing her panties in the laundry basket. Once inside, I sat down in front of the tub. She put the sponge under a basin, added soap, and began to slowly scrub my back. I could only feel her scrubbing me, but what she did next made me moan a little. She moved the sponge down to my privates, where I felt her scrubbing me. Issei. Kazuki. Kazuki. Relax, it's normal, you don't have to be embarrassed. I didn't say anything and began to resist as he rubbed me until he left my part. Kazuki. Issei. Issei. Tell me. Kazuki. Have you ever kissed someone? Issei. A little bit only on the cheek. Kazuki. Not that kind of kiss. Issei. So? Kazuki. It's a kiss on the lips, it's when a person loves each other very much and shows it with a kiss on the lips. Issei. Really? I didn't know that, I didn't know how they kissed each other. Just hearing that made her smile sweetly, taking my head and making me look up where she was looking directly into my eyes with a blush. Kazuki. You know, when you kiss someone, you become boyfriend and girlfriend. Issei. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Kazuki. Don't you want to try? Issei. Maybe, but I wouldn't want to. Kazuki. Well, not you, but I am. She moved closer to me, opening her lips slightly to reveal her tongue and kissing me on the lips. I felt her tongue moving against mine. I didn't pull away and returned the kiss. We kissed for a few minutes until we separated, leaving a trail of saliva where we looked into each other's eyes. Kazuki washed my back, but it was time for me to get in the tub. I got in, as did Kazuki, but we splashed some water. She was staring into my eyes, placing her hand on my chest, feeling my heartbeat. She just smiled and sat on my lap, smiling at my privates. She didn't say anything and still sat on top of me. She moaned a little when she felt my privates close to hers, but she ignored it and placed her hand on my chest, closing her eyes and listening to my heartbeat. Kazuki. Your heartbeat sounds cute. Issei. Thank you Kazuki. Kazuki. Issei, what do you feel for me? Issei. What are you trying to say? She takes her head away from my chest and lifts a coconut, placing her hands on the edges of the tub. Did you like me? Issei. Yes, I didn't want to tell you because I thought you wouldn't accept my feelings like the others. Kazuki just kissed me again, wrapping her arms around my neck, making the kiss more passionate. We separated and she told me how she felt about me and I accepted her feelings. She just felt it and lay back down on my chest. I just smiled and closed my eyes, but we were being watched by Kazuki's parents, who took a picture with sweet smiles when they saw us like that because they knew about our feelings. But someone else was also watching us, and that was my brother, who took a picture and thought about copying it and doing something. After that, we both got out of the tub and changed in Kazuki's room. She watched me get dressed, and I watched her, but well, we both saw each other naked in the bathroom. Nothing was the same. They invited me to sleep with them, and I accepted. We had dinner, but not before they showed us a painting they had made of us in the bathroom together, hugging. We both blushed, but Kazuki's parents told me not to worry because my parents wouldn't find out. They wanted to keep the painting. Of course, I showed them what I had painted, and they were even more amazed that I had drawn Kazuki and me as two very large dragons that, because of their size, were omnipotent against anyone. Kazuki invited me to sleep in her room. I accepted since we were almost boyfriend and girlfriend at such a young age. She hugged me, and I returned her hug. She felt a warmth in me that went to my chest, and we both fell asleep. As time went on, the children looked at us with surprised expressions and even whispered about us. The teacher summoned me and Kazuki. We were in the principal's office and the principal looked at us seriously, my parents angrily, my sister sadly, and my brother happily. The director spoke. "Do you know why we called you?" Both. "No." Director. "Issei, what does this mean?" They showed us a picture of me and Kazuki in the bathroom together. Director. "It's unforgivable that you're with her, you're too small to be with her, especially naked." Issei. "That shouldn't matter to you. You despise me and I despise you. You never help me. Everyone hates me, and it's all your fault. My sister is just jealous that I'm dating Kazuki, and my brother only wants her like Sula. That's why the Tomo is a photo." Director. "Issei, we know they spread that lie, but we have no other choice but to expel you and Kazuki." Kazuki's parents were surprised. "No." Director. "I already decided that and no." Issei. "Expel me and let Kazuki stay in school." Director. "Are you sure about this, Issei?" Issei. "I care about her a lot and I don't want her to lose school because of me, but I don't want anyone to hurt her, otherwise I'll kill them myself like I almost killed those 3 kids." Director. "Very well, Issei, if that's your decision, that's fine. Kazuki, you will continue studying here." When it was over, Kazuki's parents just hugged me, saying it wasn't necessary, but I told them I didn't want things to end badly for her because I loved her. She hugged me crying, saying, "You didn't have to do it, this way we could be together." I replied. "I didn't want you to stop studying because of me, you mean a lot to me, Kazuki." She kissed me and I accepted. I left school, but when I got home they just started hitting me, but I didn't feel any pain. It was like something inside me broke, like a rope that stopped me from feeling pain, but I only felt something when I was near Kazuki. My parents hit me, but I didn't feel anything, leaving everyone wondering. My brothers hit me too, but nothing. I didn't feel any pain. I just saw them trying to make me feel pain. They threw stones at me, but nothing. Even though my head bled, I didn't feel anything. Time passed and Kazuki finished elementary school, but his parents were accepted in Spain because of my paintings and theirs. They didn't want to leave me alone. Alfred. We didn't want to leave, but they called us and well. Issei. They're leaving. Sam. If Issei and we're leaving, no I didn't want to leave you here I see you as my son as my son-in-law you know it's nice to see you happy with my daughter, but now we must go. Issei. I love them very much, I don't want them to leave either, they are my parents. The 3 of us separated, with everyone at the airport able to see us. Kazuki. Issei. Issei. Kazuki. She hugged me crying. "Please don't forget me sniff sniff I love you Issei." Issei. "Me too Kazuki I love you sniff sniff, but I hope you come back." Alfred. "Maybe we'll come back, but here." He gave me a briefcase with money in it. "It's for you, Issei, keep it hidden. By the way, my house is yours." Issei. "But what?" Alfred. "Don't worry, it's a house in the woods, it's special for you, Issei. You can paint whatever you want there, we'll send you photos and money." Issei. "Thank you, Oko-sama." Upon hearing that, he cried and hugged me tightly, and I hugged him back. We separated, but not before Sam hugged me here, calling me Oko-sama. We separated again, and there was only one more. Issei. Kazuki. Kazuki. Issei. She approached me and kissed me while everyone watched. Many were recording us, others were taking pictures, and the rest were watching us like a sweet scene from a love movie. We separated and gave each other one last hug before they left on the plane, watching as Kazuki said goodbye to me. I watched them leave until they dropped Kuoh off. After that, I called a taxi to take me to the address Oko-sama gave me. I paid the man money, and aside from the 3,000, he just patted my head and said, "Thank you, child. You are very special, extremely special, and I hope you will be in the future. Be happy and thank you for the money. My Estrada family is pleased with this." The man left and I walked through the forest following the path until I reached the house that Oko-sama had left for me. It was very pretty, made of very smooth and shiny wood. I went up the stairs and inside. I saw that it had a living room with a leather sofa, a bear rug, a kitchenette, and a refrigerator with everything I needed. It was a hidden house far from mine where not even my supposed parents would be stupid enough to come here. I put my briefcase in a safe with 4 locks, went to the room where I would sleep for a few days while they were away on their trip. But you know, I don't mind if they leave. It's better for me without them. I saw the bathroom, which had lovely white and blue decorations with pictures of the sky, a 42-inch television, a very soft bed like a queen-size bed, and a basement where I had a large number of frames, brushes, and paints, everything I needed to paint. I left my things and went. I took care of the house, and no one could enter because it was a restricted area, or at least that's what they thought, because I put up a sign and hired someone to look after the house when I wasn't there. I paid the man $8,000 each week. As time went on, they continued to beat me, but I didn't care. As I told them, I didn't feel any pain. The day came when they left the city for about 2 months, and during that time I would go and clean the house, and when I finished, I would go to my other house with the money I had saved and Kazuki's paint. When I arrived, I received a message, and when I saw it, it was from them in the city, happy, and I was too. I thanked them for the house. I even took a picture of the new paint I had done a few days ago, because last night I had a dream about Kazuki and me, but I was a little older, and she was short, sitting on the beach watching the big white moon with the stars. They were very surprised. I spoke with Kazuki that night, and he told me that he missed me and wanted to come back, and I felt the same way, but they couldn't until his father's work was finished. When I fell asleep I was in a dark place. I looked all around looking for someone, but I couldn't find anyone in sight. I heard a loud noise, only to see some flames from which I could make out a huge omnipotent dragon like my painting, only it was 50 meters long and red. He said to me, "Hello partner." Me? Wet. But in the darkest part of my being, a being of darkness and enormous spoke. Very soon he will unleash all the power I have, and that will be when everyone will see the mistake they made by leaving him there to his fate. Chapter 2. Nera Issei. 9 years have passed since I discovered I had dragon power. I possessed the Red Emperor Dragon, one of the celestial dragons sealed by God in a war. He told me his name, Drake, and I found it very surprising. He talks to me a lot about the other dragons, the factions, and why he awoke. Well, he told me it was because my heart was broken, my feelings towards my parents were hatred, that was the reason he awoke, and also because there was a dormant threat that was sealed away, that's why he awoke. Drake taught me how to use his power correctly in secret. He didn't want them to discover that I had draconic power. As time passed, I earned a lot of money selling paintings and house designs, which many people liked, especially working people. I gave them the plans and they paid me 9 million, even though it was a lot, and I earned 8 million from all the paintings. Some time later, we were enrolled in Kuoh Academy. I thought my brothers would perpetuate the lie from the first time, but they didn't, although they still hit me sometimes. But my nightmare returned. I discovered that Rias Gremory studied there and was the president of the occult research club. I perfectly concealed my power so that she wouldn't realize it. I met several kids who became friends with me, sometimes because they said they had some illness and didn't have much time left to live. I was with each of them and even went to the hospital to visit them many times. They thanked me for being their friend during the short time we had until they left this world. Every time Rias was under the tree, she would see me for some reason, but I ignored her to avoid her discovering my power. I controlled Drake's balance breaker to transform. Drake hid many things within himself. For some reason, he wouldn't tell me what he was hiding. As the days passed, I met a shy girl with black hair and brown eyes named Yuma. Hi sorry, but I've been watching you for a while. Issei. Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Hyoudou Issei. The girl told me. My name is Yuma and I know we haven't known each other for very long, but I like you and I was wondering if you'd like to go on a date with me. Issei. You know, even though you've fallen in love with me, I haven't, but I accept your invitation, and I think it should be this Sunday, what do you say? Yuma. Yes, thank you very much. I'll see you on Sunday at 7 in the park. Issei. I'll be there. Yuma left, but for some reason, something inside me told me she wasn't human. I left the bridge, but I was being watched by a loli with white hair. She was Kaneko Taojo. She was serious and hardly spoke to others, and she was also somewhat violent when perverts approached her. Kaneko. So it's a dragon he has, I should warn Butcho. I went straight to my house in the woods where I could be at peace. I put my things on the couch and drank some water, but before doing my homework, I decided to paint for a while. I went down to the basement where I had a collection of pictures that I made myself. Narrator. Issei grabs a frame and takes it upstairs. He asks Drake what he imagines in the dream. Greg passes the image to Issei in his head and he begins to draw. It took him 10 minutes until he finished making a kind of red dragon, but bigger on a mountain. Next to it was kneeling the white dragon, the other dragons, and this one was like the king. Issei saves the image and begins to paint another image, but of a girl with blonde hair and 2 pigtails, wearing a pink dress, but she had Issei's glove on her left hand. Issei. Hey Dreg, I don't know, but this girl has you. Dreg. Yes, I'm watching it, but it seems strange to me that she has me when I should be with you. Issei. Okay, let's continue. Issei pinto uno pero que era diferente. When it ended, he saw that it was the man leaning forward, looking into the eyes of a pretty girl, wearing a white and red kimono like a priestess. She had blonde hair tied back, orange eyes, and the girl looked about 12 or 13 years old. But the other one who did it left him speechless, with the same girl kissing her, but he saw that she had fox ears and 5 or 7 fox tails of orange and white color. Dreg. PFFFFF no way mate, you and that girl were drawing you holding hands, but now you're kissing, no way you already love little girls like they're yours I'm dying of laughter Laughing like crazy, clutching his stomach from laughing so much. Issei. Shut up, you super developed lizard. I don't know why I drew this, but I'd better save it. I need to know who this girl is. I've seen that kimono before, but I don't know where. She put the 2 pictures downstairs in the basement as a keepsake, went upstairs and started doing her schoolwork. Elsewhere in Japan, at a temple, a little girl was drawing what appeared to be her with a tall chestnut-haired man of about 18 years old, but kissing. The girl felt something. I think someone else drew the same thing as me, and that someone will be him. Returning to Issei. Sunday arrived and he was in the park waiting for Yuma for their first date. He waited for Yuma until she finally appeared wearing clothes that made her look beautiful. She and I walked, ate ice cream, and went to the movies. It was happy to have someone by your side. Yuma took Issei to the park again. Yuma. Issei, can I ask you something? Issei. Yes, of course. Yuma. Will you die for me? Issei. Huh? What are you saying? Yuma. My name isn't Yuma, I'm Rainer, I'm a fallen angel. I see. But it's impossible. Rias and her entourage are supposed to exterminate the fallen angels. Rainer. Yes, but she doesn't do her job well. The reason I'm going to kill you is because you possess a power that is a danger to us, and we cannot accept that. She creates a spear of light and throws it at such speed that it pierces Issei's chest, causing him to fall to the ground dead, but not before saying. Thank you for being my friend Kazuki. Issei closes his eyes, but a red magic circle appears above him, and Ria's Gremory emerges from it with something in her hand as she approaches Issei. The next morning, Issei woke up but saw something that made him blush bright red. He was standing in front of a pair of large breasts, and they belonged to Ria's Gremory, who was completely naked in Issei's bed. Issei. But what is this? I'm supposed to be dead, and why is Rias completely naked in front of me? Greg. Hey buddy, you woke up and you're wondering why Rias is here. Well, the answer is simple. You're now part of her entourage. Issei. What? I didn't want that, well, a little, but no. Greg. Please, you will live longer. Issei. I didn't want to be immortal, I just wanted to live a normal life with you Dreg, and see again. Dreg. Kazuki no. Issei. I miss Dreg a lot. Dreg. Relax, mate, she'll be fine, I assure you. Rias. Hola Issei. Issei. Hello, and can I ask why the hell are you naked? Rias. Don't worry, sleeping naked relaxes me, plus it's very comfortable, and that's because you are. Issei. Your pawn, if Dreg just told me. Rias. You're the Sekiryuutei. Issei. Something like that, I kept it hidden so as not to be part of your entourage and wait for someone I love to arrive. Rias. You're talking about Kazami. Issei. Yes. Rias. Don't worry, you'll have new friends and a friend, plus you'll have adventures. Issei. Well, this couldn't get any worse. From that day on, Issei began to get used to the Gremory entourage. He became very good friends with Hyoudou, Ria's knight, with Kaneko Taojo, the rook, Akeno, the queen, and her 2 brothers who were pawns. Issei fulfilled the contracts they were ordered to do well, in addition to hunting rogue demons. Issei would talk a lot with Kaneko, who felt something in her heart when she was near him. He would just hug her or put her on his lap, making Kaneko's eyes widen, not out of embarrassment, but because she felt peace there. From then on, she got used to being there with Issei. With Kiba, he taught Issei how to wield a sword, showed him special techniques to be faster, and other things. With Akeno, he showed her that he could control lightning with his hands. Time passed, and one day Issei bumped into a 14-year-old nun with blonde hair and brown eyes. She was pretty, and her name was Asia Argento, a former nun from the church. Issei was talking to her as he took her to church, telling her that his dream was to have a friend to read, laugh and talk with. She told Issei that she wanted to be with someone, but that she should never leave him. Asia became Issei's friend, and he hugged her. Issei left her at the church door and left. Rias summoned him because she was going to make a contract that night at a house. Issei went to the address of the contract, but upon entering, he saw the corpses of 3 people, including a child, and they were demons. In front of him stood a very deranged father named Fried, a grey-haired man who was clearly a lunatic. He laughed maniacally, saying he killed that family simply for being demons. He told Issei he killed every demon he came across for fun. Issei summoned his gauntlet, but then someone he didn't expect to see appeared. Asia was with the father, terrified at the sight of the dead family. She asked him why he did it, but he didn't answer and fired a bullet in Issei's direction, which he dodged. The father, being used to fighting, was faster and slashed Issei's leg, causing him to fall to the ground. He cut Issei's shoulder, then his face, and finally plunged a knife into his leg to prevent him from getting up. Asia tried to help him, but the father stopped her, slapping her and slashing her clothes in half, exposing her breasts. She was nearly blown away by the father when a lightning bolt struck him. It was Akeno, the queen, who wore a somewhat smile macabre. Rias and the others appear. Kaneko grabs Issei, who was trying to save Asia, but couldn't. He begged Rias to take him with them, but she just refused, saying that only demons can cross. Issei watched as he disappeared. Issei trained in his consciousness to save Asia from them. He trained there for 2 years and was healed by Rias with the phoenix tears, which were a great support to him. She saw Asia again, but this time she was fine. They sat on a bench, and Asia told her her whole story of why she was accepted. It turns out that a few years ago, Asia was an ordinary girl, but she came across a badly injured man. She closed her eyes and began to pray. The man was enveloped in a green light, causing his wound to disappear. The church members accepted her because of her power to bless, telling her about demons, angels, and fallen angels, and that her power was a gift from God. But all that changed because she encountered a demon who was gravely injured, and she had no choice but to heal him. As a result, she was expelled from the church and called a witch, a demon, and other things. But she didn't care if they called her that, she was happy. Rainer reappeared, but now she wanted Asia's power, having discovered it was healing, and with it she would be invincible. Issei faced her, but out of nowhere other fallen angels appeared. A tall man named Donasek, a tall woman named Kalwerner, but behind them was a lowly who looked somewhat beaten up. She had her head down, but when she saw him, she saw that he was looking at her. She saw that she wasn't evil or meant to kill him. Rainer launches an attack, but he blocks it. Donasek throws a spear of light that pierces his stomach, but he remained standing. He fired an attack with the boost Gar, but only slightly damaged the fallen. Because Issei was somewhat agitated, Rainer was about to kill him when the lowly says to him, "Don't do it, remember we came for the nun and nothing more." Rainer just throws a spear that hits her shoulder, making the girl scream in pain and cry. She saw that she didn't want to hurt him, but was being forced to kill him. Rainer takes Asia and they leave. She returns to the club and asks for help from her brothers, Kiba and Kaneko, to help her with the fallen angels. At night, the 5 of them went to the church where they had no choice but to face 10 fallen angels, 20 priests, and Fried. Issei's brothers were dealing with the angels, and Kiba and Kaneko were handling the priests so that he could go and save Asia. He reached the basement where he saw Asia on a cross, her sacred gear being extracted in the most painful way. Rainer was there, laughing maniacally at her suffering. Asia had been killed. Her sacred gear had been removed, and without it, she was dying. Issei ran over and kicked Rainer in the face before she could take Asia's sacred gear. Issei grabbed it and carried Asia away like a princess. He arrived upstairs where his brothers and his 2 friends were. When they saw Asia, they formed a circle as Rainer arrived with other fallen angels. They faced each other again. Rainer threw a spear of light at Issei, but a red ball destroyed the spear. They looked in the direction it came from, and it was Rias who had a serious face upon seeing so many fallen angels. Rias launches more attacks and kills 2 angels. Issei stands up and leaves Asia in Akeno's care. He sees a spear of light about to touch him, but he stops it with his hand. They watch this with amazement, especially when the spear turns blood red. "I see. They dared to hurt Asia, and I will not forgive them for that." Inside Issei, in a dark place, something broke. A small crack was seen deep inside, and within it, 2 red eyes watched this. Outside, Issei throws the spear back at them, but upon impact with an angel, it explodes, killing the rest but not Rainer and her accomplices who managed to escape, vowing that they would return and take the sacred gear of Asia. Rias takes out an ivory piece and reincarnates Asia as a demon. Asia thanked Rias for reviving her and making her part of her family. Asia was welcomed into Issei's house with his parents. To Issei. "Hello everyone, it's great that you're back." To Issei. "Hey Issei, who is that girl?" Issei. "I can't answer her right now because..." Issei falls to the ground spitting blood, alerting everyone. Asia touches him and the moment she does, she sees something that terrifies her. When she touches him, she sees something large with red eyes and white teeth appear out of nowhere. She decides to heal him so that he will wake up. It takes 4 minutes until Issei wakes up and his brothers tell him that he had fallen and spat blood. Issei tells them that she was Asia and that she was going to live with them now. Issei's parents were very happy and welcomed her into the house where his room used to be. Issei leaves the house, watched by his parents who, upon seeing him, just lowered their heads because they felt guilty that he was like this. Issei arrives at the forest house where he turns on the lights inside and out so he can start making his dinner. When he finishes dinner, he decides to talk to Drake. Hey Drake, what happened? Why did I suddenly fall? Drake. I don't know mate, it's like something is inside you. Issei. That's strange, you're only with me. Drake. Well, don't worry, that Asian girl healed you, that's good, otherwise you would have died, especially from holding a spear of light. Issei. You're right, Drake, maybe it's because of the light spear. Well, rest well, my friend, good night. Drake. Thank you, partner. Rest well. The seal is breaking. I must do something before he breaks free. Issei was finishing dinner when someone knocked on the door and when he opened it, he saw that it was Asia. Issei. Asia, what are you doing here? Asia. I felt lonely at your house, your brothers fell asleep and I wanted to be with you. Issei. Okay, come on over. I was going to sleep too and I felt lonely. Come on over, you can sleep with me if you want. Asia. Yes thank you Issei. Issei, you're welcome Asia. Issei went to his room, which was very nice for Asia. Issei changed his clothes, putting on blue shorts and a white t-shirt. Asia just put on a somewhat transparent pink dress. She got between the sheets and snuggled into Issei's arm. When he saw that, he smiled and hugged her. The next morning, Issei woke up to find Asia asleep on his chest, smiling. He woke Asia up so they could go to the club about the contracts and stuff. They bathed and changed before heading to the academy. Everyone saw Issei with Asia, holding hands like a couple. Asia entered Issei's classroom because she would be there with him now. Time passed at the academy until recess, when Issei and Asia were called to the club. Rias went and hugged Issei, telling him not to take any more risks, that he was very special to her. Issei felt something in his heart, perhaps love or a new feeling. Max had a smile on his face, just as she did because now she felt something, not for Issei, but for Max. He already knew of her feelings and accepted them. As time passed, Issei and Asia talked, laughed, and went for walks at night, seeing the city. Issei noticed that some of them had a different face now, it was almost emotionless or something like that. Rias gave Issei a contract that they had to fulfill in an abandoned warehouse where the person was and he had to go with Asia. Asia and Issei went to the warehouse. They entered and walked for a few seconds, but saw that there was no one inside. Issei walked further inside with Asia, but suddenly the door slammed shut, startling them both. They saw it was Rainer with a wicked smile, surrounded by 5 fallen angels wielding light spears. Rainer said, well, I see you did receive our invitation. Issei. Now what do you want, Rainer? Rainer. I want your sacred gear. We saw that they were very powerful, and it would be good for us to have them. Issei. These powers are never ours. Rainer. Well, I see you want to do it the hard way. Fine, however you want, I'll lure the girl. The angels headed towards Asia, but Issei activated his power and began fighting them. One struck Issei in the arm, but despite the pain, he remained standing. He grabbed a spear of light and hurled it with all his might, piercing one of the angels' heads. Another was struck in the heart. An angel created a dagger of light that cut Issei's leg, but Issei fired a red sphere that killed it. After defeating them, Issei turned and saw Asia, who was smiling, but that smile was about to fade. Rainer. You should have been more careful, girl. Rainer plunges a spear of light into his stomach and another one. Seeing this, Issei began to shed tears, and once again in the darkest part, another war appeared, but it expanded even more. Issei ran to Asia's body. Asia, please don't go Asia, please, we promise to be together. Asia. Issei it doesn't matter don't worry I always knew it was going to end like this. Issei. No Asia please no don't go Asia you're all I have I've already lost someone before, I don't intend to lose anyone else please stay by my side. Asia. Thank you for being my friend, Issei thank you for being with me all this time. Issei. Asia. Issei, I love him so much. Asia closes her eyes. Issei thought it was normal because maybe she was unconscious or something. Asia, wake up. Greg. It's useless, mate. Issei. Is that normal? He must be unconscious or something, right, Greg? I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's too late he's dead. Issei opened his eyes filled with pain, he felt his heart break, he remembered the beautiful moments he had with Asia, the most painful thing Issei had was losing the person he loved. Issei. Asia, I'm sorry for not telling you this, but I love you Asia. Issei kissed Asia's lips and the healing rings that Rainer wanted so much came out of her chest, but she almost took them if it hadn't been for a lightning bolt hitting her in the face. She turned around and saw that it was Max with slanted eyes and tears in his eyes upon seeing Asia dead, as well as Kiba, Akeno, Tina and Kaneko. Rias. You will pay for hurting one of my servants and for taking away someone special from his life, kill her. Everyone rushes towards Rainer, but more angels enter and begin to fight. Rias sees that Issei had the rings at hand, but she also sees him insert them into his chest. I'm so sorry Asia, I should have been stronger. Rias. It's not your fault, Issei. Issei. If it is I should have died, not her. Rainer. What a crybaby for someone so pathetic and weak who can't do anything but hide behind others. Rias. You better shut up, fallen angels. Rainer. Well, what are you going to do to me? You're not capable of hurting humans, but… He couldn't continue because a ball of blood-red energy hit him in the arm. Rias looked and it was Issei with eyes completely red like blood. Issei. Don't you ever appear again, you damned angel, or I will kill you in the worst way possible. Rainer felt terror upon hearing that, but she only pretended and flew away along with the survivors. Issei calmed down and carried Asia's body. Rias teleported to Issei's house where his parents, upon seeing the circle, were excited to see that they were arriving, but when everyone arrived, the parents saw that they had a face of sadness and pain. To Issei. What happened and where is Asia? Ida Issei si donde esta Asia Max? Max. Dad better. To Issei. Please tell me where. The parents see someone approaching and carrying Asia in their arms. Issei. Issei, what happened? Tell me what happened. Issei. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough to protect her, I promised to protect her, but in the end, it turned out to be a promise I could never keep. Issei's parents hugged him, saying it wasn't his fault or anything, at least he tried. Issei leaves his house and walks to the forest, but in the house everyone was looking down, but out of nowhere. Aya. Everyone hears Issei scream, they go outside and see red explosions all over the forest. Rias sets up the field and they go to where the explosions were. In the forest, Issei was crying, destroying all the trees with his power. Inside, Drake felt the same way because he had grown fond of Asia. Issei continued destroying everything in his path. Filled with pain, he fires a large sphere of energy at a rock, completely shattering it. When Issei finally calms down, he falls to his knees and cries, pounding his fist on the ground, blaming himself for everything that happened. Rias and the others listened and watched, filled with tears as they saw him suffer. His parents also cried, especially because he loved Asia as much as his sister, or even more. Issei stood up, gathering a large amount of energy to put it in his chest and kill himself. Of Issei. No Issei Mo, don't do it son, you must be strong, that's what Asia would have wanted from you. D for Issei. Calm down, son, calm down. Issei. I just want her back, I want her here again, and to ask for her forgiveness, I loved her. Max. Calm down, brother, calm down. You must overcome that pain. That's what she would have wanted from you. Issei gradually calmed down, but he continued to cry because of the pain he felt in his heart. Chapter 3. The days passed for Issei, who continued to blame himself for everything that happened with Asia. Since then, he has been training day and night to overcome his limits and become stronger so he can protect Rias along with the others. It was night, Issei was training by shooting beams at rocks. Dreg. Buddy, you must stop, if you continue like this you will lose your sanity. Issei. I must become stronger, Dreg. I can't let ESL happen again. Dreg. I know you're broken but… Issei. But what Dreg? I wasn't strong, I was weak, I couldn't protect the person I loved so much, now she's gone. Dreg. Do you think I don't feel bad either? I feel bad, I grew fond of her, she was my friend Issei, I suffer every day, but she told you not to blame yourself because it wasn't your fault. Issei. If it was my fault, I don't care if I lose my sanity, I just want to become stronger and kill all the fallen angels who betrayed their faction. Dreg. Hey mate, what are you becoming? I just hope the seal holds. I don't think it'll last forever now that it's cracked. As time passed, Issei managed to reach 80% of his power, enough to face high-class or supreme demons. Issei gradually left that pain behind and focused more on killing rogue demons, but he killed the fallen ones in the worst way possible. Every day he spent in the occult club. Elsewhere. I didn't think Issei would lose that girl he loved so much. Me too, daughter. Issei tried hard and made her a promise, but he couldn't. I'm not saying he's weak, I'm just saying that at least he tried hard to protect her from them. Yes, Dad, I just want to be with him again and not be separated from him and mend his heart. And you will, my friend, that boy suffered and now it depends on you to get back with his old love. Thank you, dragons. Now with Issei. He was painting at the club, something he liked to do to vent his feelings or to stop feeling pain, but now it wasn't nice at all, it was something terrible. He was painting the whole city destroyed by purple flames, dragons in the sky, a different world where there is death, where there is destruction, lava and dragons, not to mention a huge army of demons. Other things he drew were like a huge dragon 700 meters high, throwing black fire at an underworld city, dead trisses among those people, dead factions, the whole planet in flames. Issei didn't understand why he was drawing that when he should be drawing something else. A day came when everyone was tense, and it wasn't because of him, but because of someone Rias didn't expect to see. Razor Phoenix, the heir of the Phoenix clan, along with his entourage. Issei. Are they all women? Razor. Is there anything wrong with that? Issei. No, none, it's just that I waited for a strong man so I could fight and demonstrate my power to the extent it reached. Razor. Wow, I really like this guy. Well, Rias, my fiancé, everything is arranged for the wedding. Rias. No, Razor didn't love you. Razor. That's not my problem. Your brother and the Demon Council already fixed everything. It's not my fault, it's the council's. They saw that the inheritance of pure demons was decreasing more and more. Rias. I challenge you to a rating game, me against you and your entourage. If you win, I'll marry you, and if you lose, you leave me alone. Razor. Good, I just hope this doesn't affect that boy, Rias told me he lost someone. Rias. I hope you don't suffer, Issei. The magic circle appears on the floor and Grayfia emerges saying. Okay, now I'll take you to the combat zone. It will be in front of the Gremory family, Phoenix, and some humans who know about us. Having said this, they were transported to the underworld in a large area for everyone, like the school. All the Gremorys, Phoenix, and the Hyoudou family were there to watch their three sons fight, but something was bothering them, and it was Issei. Issei. Hey Drag, you haven't been talking to me much lately, are you hiding something from me? Drag. What? No, I wouldn't be incapable of hiding something from you, mate. Issei. Tien. Drag. I hope this doesn't affect you at all. Grayfia. Okay, both teams are ready. The two teams stared at each other and for some reason, Issei's eyes changed rapidly. Grayfia. Yeah. The two teams running in different directions. Rias. Kaneko, Akeno, eliminate all the pawns. Ambas. Yes. The two entered the school. There were 6 laborers. One of them said. Wow, a rook and a queen, this will be entertaining. Akeno. I hope so. Outside. Rias. Kiba, Max, go and eliminate the towers. Both. There is a bug. The two went and chased the towers to fight them. Kiba came across one that was a bit difficult for him since she was very skilled with swords and hand-to-hand combat. Max also found it difficult, even with his balance breaker it was almost impossible. Rias. Issei v. Issei. Hi. Issei ran into the field where he bumped into 2 lowly pawns. Issei. Please tell me this isn't a joke. Belay. Haha, you're kind of funny. Issei. Okay, let's begin. Nell. If that's what you want, you'll have a battle. The 3 of them launched themselves at Issei, the 2 lawless made small cuts to him, but he used his power to launch very large attacks that destroyed a huge part of the ceiling, impressing everyone. Rias. He's going too far. Razor. I just hope he doesn't suffer when he finds out. But Issei, he had eliminated a pawn named Delay. Grayfia. One of Razor's pawns has been defeated, 3 pawns, and one of Razor's rooks have been defeated. Issei. Well, there are only a few left, oh right, there's you. Nell. Wow, you're strong, but you'll pay for eliminating my sister. Issei. If you want, I can send you to her. Nell. There isn't. Issei. Sip. Issei launches an attack that hits her and eliminates her. Grayfia. Another of Ria's pawns have been eliminated, 2 pawns, a rook and a queen of Ria's have been eliminated. Issei. What? Impossible. Maybe we underestimated them. He saw an explosion on the roof, but when he tried to approach the building, he was surrounded by the remaining pieces of the Riaser. One of them says. Or you won't go. Another one. It's true Riaser is about to eliminate Rias and only you remain. Issei. I don't have time, I must save Rias. All. You won't. Issei. Well, they didn't leave me a choice. It materializes its glove, but now it shines, forming a sphere within it. Dragon laser. The great red beam eliminated Riaser's pieces, except for the queen who was with him. Issei ran towards him but felt something as if he was losing control a little. With all his strength and seeing the pressure seals, he gathered energy in his gauntlet and fired again at each seal until none remained. He approached where Rias and his queen were. Issei. Don't get near his stomach. Razor. Why don't I just delete you? Issei. Polemos. Rias. As you say. They both launched into a fight while being watched by Rias and Razor's queen, including everyone else, because they didn't believe that a piece of Rias could be that strong. Issei gave Razor several blows, but he was immortal, so he healed those wounds. Issei didn't stay behind. He fired several energy balls that hit Razor, but he got tired of playing and said, "Burning Phoenix Ball." He fired a fireball that was about to hit Issei, but when it attempted to impact, everyone was stunned because Issei was stopping the fireball with his bare hands. Rias couldn't believe it and fired another one, which, upon merging with the first, grew larger until it exploded. Everyone stared at the explosion, and what they saw left them very surprised. It was Issei wearing red armor. Issei. It's time for you to feel the power of my balance breaker. Issei lunged at Rias, and in a desperate attempt, he threw several fireballs at him, but nothing happened to him. He remained unharmed. Issei then punched Rias in the stomach, shot a beam from his hand that hit him in the chest, and delivered countless blows to his body. Ravel was very worried about her brother. Issei. This is my final blow. He was going to launch a hard blow, but his armor disappeared leaving Issei without it, and he was surprised to see Rias running towards Rias. Rias. Razor, are you okay? Razor. If I'm alright, my beautiful crimson. Issei. What's this all about, Rias? Rias stands up and goes towards Issei. Issei, the truth is that I do love Rias. Issei opens his eyes and feels another part of his heart break. What does he mean? You said you didn't love him. Rias. I pretended, I only reincarnated you to see how strong you would be in the future. I only did it with good intentions, Issei. Upon hearing that, Issei could no longer resist and simply lowered his head, tears streaming down his face. I give up. Upon hearing that, everyone just lowered their heads because Issei let himself be defeated. Razor wins the fight. Issei was transported along with everyone else to where the others were. Max approached Issei but then said. Tell me, stop, Max, did you know about this? Max. Issei if Issei knew. Issei. Why? Why did you hide it from me? To Issei. Rias saw that you could progress perhaps by joining the Phoenix clan. Issei lowers his head and clenches his fists. Who else knew? Hibba. I knew Issei, well we all knew. When Issei saw him face to face, he clearly had a sad expression. I loved you all, I tried hard to protect you all and show you that I could achieve something, but you lie to me, you keep this a secret and use me for my power. I felt something for you, Kaneko, but now that I know you were involved in this, I don't feel anything for you anymore. Kaneko just cried and lowered her head upon hearing those words and whispered. I'm sorry Issei-senpai, I'm sorry. Issei. You all disappoint me, you're like real demons. Issei was about to leave, but felt someone stop him and it was Rias. No Issei, don't go please, stay, we can solve this. Issei. No, your brother, your parents, the Phoenix clan, my parents all betrayed me, they hid this from me. I also felt something for you, Rias, I did it for that reason too, and for Asia, but now I don't want to know anything about you, Drake. The arm materializes. Yes. Issei. Did you know about this? Upon hearing this, Drake felt nervous. And no, mate. Issei. Tell me the truth, did you know about this or not? Upon hearing his companion shout towards him, Drake sadly replied. Yes, I knew it. Issei clenched his fist until blood came out of it and with a sepulchral voice. Go away, that left the dragon very surprised. Go away, Drake. Upon hearing that, Drake could only begin to cry because he heard that his best host no longer wanted him. No, Issei, please let me explain. Issei. Explain what? I've been with you for over 8 years and you lie to me, you hide this from me, supposedly you're the celestial dragon, and your purpose is to tell the truths to its holders because they're its companions, and in our case, being friends, we tell each other everything, so get out of me. I don't want a lying dragon with me anymore. Drake just cried and cried because what he said was true and now, because of his stupidity, he was going to leave his best friend. Drake, I'm sorry Issei. The arm disappears and a green sphere emerges from it, knowing it was Drake. He simply turned away to avoid seeing him, and this broke the dragon's heart because he had supported him and given him advice, but he had hidden something he needed to know. Drake begins to move, searching for his new host, until he chooses Ravel Phoenix, the new Sekiryuutei. Everyone is surprised, but she not only feels guilty seeing Drake lose a friend, a partner, a brother. Ravel. I'm sorry, Drake. Drake. Thank you, I hope you achieve what Issei could have achieved. Ravel. I feel guilty. Issei approaches Ravel and says. I hope you achieve a lot with it, now it's yours, now you're the Sekiryuutei. Issei starts walking to leave in a magic circle that Grayfia opened for him. Issei passes through and says to Razor. Take good care of them, I hope they are happy without me. Razor, I'm sorry Issei. Issei. I don't care about your apologies. Issei starts walking towards the portal, but his parents. Vida Issei. Issei hi-ho. Issei. I am no longer your son, you are nobody. You are hiding something from me knowing how I feel about losing Asia, and now don't look for me again or go near the forest. Issei left the underworld through the portal. Rias went with Riaser and hugged him, but they regretted losing someone who cared about him. Kaneko couldn't stop crying because he was closer to her, and now she only regretted saying she felt something for him. Kiba was the same because he was her friend, and everyone else was the same because they had hidden something. In the human world, we see Issei emerge from the portal and begin walking towards his home. But first, he goes to Asia's grave. After 10 minutes, he arrives at Asia's grave, which is filled with flowers of different colors. The cross is painted brown. He simply kneels and says, "Hello Asia. I hope you're well there, watching me, maybe or maybe not. You know, I thought these people would be the ones to take away the suffering, but I see it was all a lie. They only use me for my power, like anyone else. That's what demons are. I lost everything that mattered to me. Now I have no one on my side." "Ahahaha, nobody's on your side, you poor kid, will you die for me?" Upon hearing that question, veins popped out on Issei's forehead from the fury he felt. "Rainer, what is it you want?" "Rainer? It's obvious, I want that nun's sacred gear." "Issei. Sacred guard didn't give it to me." "Rainer? I see you're making things very difficult." Issei is completely surrounded by 29 fallen angels. In the underworld, everyone was celebrating Razor and Ria's wedding. They only said a few words of thanks, but then nothing more. Razor knew what was happening and decided to make a toast instead. Kaneko wasn't eating anything. She was just sitting in her dress at a table, as were the others, all with their heads down. Max said, "You don't know how much I regret hiding this from Issei." "Giba. If we've already lost it because of some senseless stupidity." "Saji. It makes no sense, he doesn't want to see us anymore, now he hates us." "Kaneko. Issei-senpai, sorry." "Ikeno. We must talk to him and try to reason with him so that he will forgive us." "Ravel. And what will happen if he doesn't listen to them? He hates Drake too, he hates us all." Suddenly some guards enter. "Lord Gremory." "Lord. What's happening?" "Soldier. It's the young Issei being surrounded by fallen angels, sir, and many more." "Lady. What?" "Soldier. They can see it." A screen appeared being transmitted from a bat that someone very important in technology created. Issei could be seen being surrounded by 29 fallen angels. "Rias. We have to go help him." "Grayfia. We can't, they've put up a shield that prevents anyone from entering or leaving." "Vax. We can't just stand here and watch them kill my brother." "Razor. We'd better see what he does." Everyone is focused on the screen. Issei, surrounded, doesn't know what to do. One of the angels throws a spear of light that pierces Issei's abdomen. Issei falls to the ground in pain. Another angel throws one that hits his leg, making him scream in pain. Rainer just laughs at his suffering. Inside Issei, the seal that kept someone contained slowly breaks. "Rainer. Oh, you don't know how much it makes me laugh to see you suffer. We saw you train, and all because of a stupid promise from someone very weak who meant nothing." Issei only gets angrier, the seal cracks more and more, purple lightning flashes from Issei's hand, Rainer just gets closer. "You know you could have died with her." Another part of the seal breaks. "Rainer. You could have protected her, but you came out weak like all other humans." The seal broke more and more, and lightning flashed continuously. In the underworld, everyone saw Issei shooting lightning from his hand. Many wondered what was happening, why he was shooting lightning, and other questions. Drake, seeing this, was simply terrified. The Issei. "Rainer. You know how I would have taken the nun to my master so he could grape her, and I would have taken you too, so you could hear her pleas, just like other girls there who are 13 to 15 years old, like that little girl." Issei. You are the seal broke with Issei's anger, the seal couldn't hold any longer, the seal broke it, damn bitch. A huge evil power was unleashed, purple rays shot out of Issei from all sides, a purple and white sphere appeared out of nowhere and enveloped Issei in it. In the underworld, everyone felt that enormous power emanating from it. Sirzechs. This power is enormous, it is greater than dragons. Ravel. What's wrong? The arm materializes. It's too late, yes, coming. Ravel. Drake, what's wrong? Drake. I hear you all because of you, now a new enemy has awakened. Everyone who heard that said the new enemy would be someone stronger. Rias. Drake, what are you trying to say? Drake. I wasn't the only one who was with Issei. Vax. Who else was with you? Drake. It's too late, the gates of Tartarus will open. Everyone was terrified when they heard the gates of Tartarus open. They saw the sphere begin to disappear, revealing Issei staggering. The angels sensed the enormous power emanating from Issei. His nails turned into long, sharp claws, black bones emerged from his elbows and shoulders, his hair turned white, his eyes became purple, and two enormous dark wings sprouted from his back, frightening everyone as they resembled those of a dragon. Breg. It's very late, he's already awake. Sirzechs. Who are you? Tell me. Breg. The Dark Lord, the god of destruction and death. He saw Issei standing up. Kamish, the evil dragon god. Issei. Ruuer. Chapter 4. Previously. Rias. Issei, the truth is that I do love Riaser. Issei opens his eyes and feels another part of his heart break. What does he mean? You said you didn't love him. Rias. I pretended, I only reincarnated you to see how strong you would be in the future. I only did it with good intentions, Issei. Upon hearing that, Issei could no longer resist and simply lowered his head, tears streaming down his face. I give up. Issei. You lied to me. Breg. Issei, sorry. Issei. Get out of here, Dreg. Breg. The evil dragon god Kamish. To be continued. Present. Issei roared like a dragon, and even more so because he underwent a terrifying transformation. The fallen angels were scared because, sensing the power he unleashed, his roar and his appearance, they didn't know what he was doing. In the underworld, everyone could not believe that the great evil dragon god Kamish had returned to life again and was in the body of someone very strong. Sirzechs. Dreg, tell me what isn't true. Breg. It's not him. After 3,000 years, he returned and was in my partner's body all this time. Every time he became cold or very angry, the seal that prevented Kamish from leaving cracked more and more. This time, when he said Rainer, those words increased his anger even more, and that made him break free. Rias. Issei. Max. Brother. Pania. Ani-chan. With Issei. Issei. Ha 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 ha. 3,000 years have passed and nothing has changed with the fallen angels. Ha 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 ha. But it's good to return after so long, especially since I woke up in the body of someone very powerful who trained since childhood to protect the people he loves so much. Rainer. Who are you? Issei. Ha 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 ha. It's a pleasure. Many know me as the king of the apocalypse, the destroyer of God, the god of Tartarus, but many fear my name. I am the evil dragon god Kamish. Everyone froze because Kamish had killed God in a war 3,000 years ago. The angels were paralyzed because they knew he was very powerful. Rainer. I impossible, you were sealed away when the great dragon master defeated you. Kamish. Ha 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 ha. Maybe he defeated me and sealed me away, but I said a few words before he defeated me. I will return in the body of someone who has suffered since childhood. His life is hell. He will suffer the mistreatment of his family and friends. In the future, the people who trusted him will hide something from him that will awaken me. And when that happens, I will be reborn and reign over everyone, and the gates of Tartarus will open upon the underworld and all factions. The day of the apocalypse will arrive. Those were the words I had said, and this is the boy who suffered as I said. Anaseek. Kill him. They all rush at Issei, but he vanishes and reappears atop an angel. With a terrifying smile, he plunges his fist into the angel's chest, ripping out its heart and hurls it to the ground with all his might, creating a crater. Another angel hurls a spear of light that strikes Issei in the neck. Everyone thinks he's dead, but the truth is quite different. The spear emerges from Issei's neck, but it turns black and his neck regenerates with purple smoke. Issei stares at it with terrifying black eyes and hurls it with superhuman strength, tearing half of its body apart. Issei roars again, this time even more aggressive. He leaps at an angel, plunging his fountains into its neck and tearing off a massive amount of flesh. Another angel tries to flee, but a dark whip grabs his foot and slams him to the ground, where spikes of dark matter erupt, killing him. Yet another angel tries to play the hero with a multitude of light spears, but a beam from Issei's finger leaves him with a massive wound. He heard it in his body. Issei was fried again, but a huge purple and black beam shot into the sky, about 20 meters wide, clouding the entire sky and causing purple lightning to appear. All the angels saw Issei begin to raise his head, and what they saw froze them in their tracks as purple smoke came from his mouth and he fired a 3-meter beam of black, purple, and red that killed 5 angels. He fired again, this time wildly in all directions. A spear hit him in the chest, but he jumped and appeared above the one who threw it and destroyed him with a hammer blow. Issei then fired a huge beam with his hand that left a massive crater after killing 8 fallen angels. He fires another blast from his hand and kills more, but this beam was about to hit his house when he reacts and the beam disappears. In the underworld. No one was speechless when they saw how Issei could control Kamish's power, but they were disgusted when they saw how he killed those angels. MD Issei. What have we turned you into? Rias. We turned Issei into a monster. Dreg. Companion. Back with Issei, he was watching all the chaos when a huge spear of light was about to hit him, but when it touched him it was completely destroyed. Issei turns around and sees a cadre named Gabriel. Gabriel. So here they were. Rainer. Gabriel-sama, what are you doing here? Gabriel. Since they were taking so long, I came to see what was happening, but now I see it. Wait a minute, you are. Issei. It's been a while, Gabriel, since I killed your entire miserable family. Gabriel. Kamish damned, now I will avenge my family. Issei. Before that, I want you to bring quiet all those girls you have kidnapped. Gabriel. As you wish. He snapped his fingers and about 19 girls aged 12 to 16, like Kaneko, appeared. Some had tears in their eyes, others had bruises, and that made Issei even angrier. Issei jumps and delivers a powerful blow to Gabriel's stomach, causing him to vomit blood, then grabs his foot and slams him to the ground. Gabriel. Damned. He throws a huge spear of light at him, but Issei opens his mouth and fires a black beam that destroys the spear, and the beam shatters Gabriel's left arm, screaming in pain. Rainer appears and tries to take Gabriel away, but a purple whip grabs her foot and makes her fall, creating a crater. Issei walks towards her, and she backs away in fear. Rainer. Please don't hurt me. Issei ignored her, grabbed her head, and opened his mouth, revealing long, sharp teeth that bit her head. She screamed and screamed, hitting Issei to make him let go, but he didn't care and squeezed harder and harder until he killed her, tearing off a huge part of her head. He looked at the remaining fallen and with his wings created purple spheres that shot out at the rest, killing them and leaving a huge pool of blood. Luckily, the girls avoided seeing that. Gabriel retreats out of fear of what Kamish was capable of doing with that monster's power. As Kamish withdrew, she began to leave Issei's body, returning it to normal, but now it was different. His eyes were blood red, his hair was black and white. Issei fell to the ground and the girls went to him, including a young loli who ran to him because he had freed her from Rainer. Her name is Middled, a very cute girl whom you will get to know later. Middled. He is wounded. Girl. Isn't there any way to help Issei-sama? Middled. No, but Kamish will be healing his body from the inside out. Now that he is an evil dragon god, he is very powerful and possesses monstrous power that is immeasurable. Girl 3. I don't want Issei-sama to die, he freed us, and I don't want him to die, she said, crying like everyone else. Issei. Asia. Middled. Issei-sama. Issei sees Asia's grave, illuminated by the moonlight, revealing a figure in white clothing, with loose yellow hair, green eyes, and a tender smile. It was Asia. Issei. To Asia. Asia. Issei-sama. Issei and everyone else couldn't believe that Asia was there, or well, something of Asia. In the underworld, everyone saw Asia. Rias was crying, Kiba, Kaneko, Akeno, Max, Tania, Issei's parents were crying when they saw Asia there, and the others were sad. Issei walked slowly until he reached where Asia was, and there he cried, but Asia grabbed his chin, looked at him and said. It's okay, Issei, everything is alright. Issei only drew more tears from his eyes, and without wasting any time he hugged Asia by the waist and kneeling down he said to her. Issei. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have protected you. I should have been stronger and been able to help you. I couldn't keep a promise I made to you. You don't know how sorry I am. Asia. It's not your fault. Issei. It's my fault you're dead, you're not here anymore, you don't know how much I miss you, I regret not being strong, I'm always weak. Asia. You're not. You managed to avenge me. You managed to become stronger, and that's what's important. I'm happy up here with my parents and my sister. They say, don't blame yourself for not protecting my daughter, Issei. At least you tried, but protect more people. My mother says, you managed to protect her, and if you couldn't again, it doesn't matter. But don't blame yourself. That chapter is behind you, and you have to move on. And my sister says, thank you for taking care of my sister. Now it's our turn to take care of her. Don't worry, we'll watch over you from above. It's good to cry and let it all out, but you have to keep going because crying won't bring us back to this world. So stop crying, even if it hurts with all your heart. It doesn't matter if you're weak or pathetic. You must always move forward and face that past that torments you inside. Thank you, Issei. Goodbye. These are the words my family says to you. Issei. Thank you, Asia, thank you for forgiving me. Asia. You're welcome, Issei, I love you. I hope we'll meet again here someday. We'll always be waiting for you, and when the time comes, we'll all be together. Issei. Yes, Asia, yes, now you can rest. Asia approaches Issei and kisses him. Everyone in the underworld was crying when they saw this because it was very painful, especially Issei's parents and siblings. Asia. Goodbye, Issei, and thank you. Asia disappears in sparkles that go to the sky, Issei just draws a smile and then falls to the ground unconscious, alerting everyone. Girl 5. Issei-sama. Middled. He is unconscious, it must be because of the power he unleashed. Girl 10. What do we do? Middle sees Issei's house and says. Let's go to his house so he can rest. The girls simply nod their heads and take Issei to their home, all while being watched by everyone in the underworld. Rias. We have to go there. Sirzechs. Don't laugh, leave Issei alone, he needs to rest now, he's no longer a demon. The pieces were destroyed when that enormous power was released, besides, Kamish is a very powerful and feared being in the underworld and in Tartarus. Venelana. We must leave the boy until he fully recovers. Razor. Alright, Rias and the rest of you, let's go to the Phoenix Mansion to rest. We should be somewhat recovered by now. We have the Phoenix Tears there to heal you. Rias and the others go to the Phoenix Mansion, but Issei, being in a deep sleep, was in the middle of a very terrifying place. Lava everywhere, cracked rocks, black clouds, monsters kneeling before what appeared to be him, but he slowly turned until he saw an omnipotent colossal dragon. It was 4,000 meters high, and it was very terrifying to be standing in front of a huge dragon, along with a skeleton. In the underworld. Sirzechs was talking with the council members to figure out what to do about Kamish, now that he was alive. They had to do something. Many said to kill Issei, others said not to kill him, but rather to observe him to see if he had any intentions of destroying the underworld. But all that stopped because of a soldier who told them that Issei was seeing something. Rias and the others were the same, they gathered in a room where you can see someone's memories or see what he has, they put what Issei sees and hears from Kamish to know that aura. With Issei. Kamish. So you're my bearer? Issei. Why yes. Kamish. Just because I'm an evil dragon god doesn't mean I should hurt my host. Besides, I have one that I train very well. Issei. Yes, I trained since my childhood to become very strong. Kamish. That was to be expected, well you must know about me, right? Issei. Nope. Kamish. Well, you see, my story begins thousands of years ago, long before the factions knew of the dragon gods. I was a dragon god, the fourth dragon god. We, like Office, Great Red and Trixia, were good gods, but little by little, Office and Great Red began to see me as somewhat evil because my power was equal to Trixia's. They attacked me and I charged at them, but in doing so, my power turned evil and from there I was born, the great evil god Kamish, the most powerful dragon that ever existed and would have been if God hadn't appeared with an entire army of humans. The biblical God lied about us dragons beings of pure evil and that we possessed his treasures, but in reality, those treasures were for mating with a female. They killed our baby dragons and our females. Many dragons became very powerful evil dragons and from there I continued since they killed my family before my eyes. I swore that I would kill God no matter what. The cost. I would kill him with my own claws to make him pay. I transformed into an evil dragon god, a very powerful one, like Trixia. I started by attacking the angels and then the humans. We attacked their villages and kingdoms. As an evil dragon god, I could open the gates of Tartarus at will, so I opened them, letting in the entire army of Tartarus and Purgatory. All the demons had wiped out 40% of the world's humans, and we were about to continue if God hadn't appeared with his entire army of angels and the two factions. We fought against the angels, fallen angels and demons, but then the three dragon gods appeared and together they defeated me, sending me and my entire army back to Tartarus. But they knew I would return seeking revenge. For thousands of years, my power grew stronger and stronger in Tartarus, feeding on the suffering, fury, and resentment of every being in the human world, purgatory, and wherever I was. When my power surpassed God's, I was ready, so I opened the gates of Tartarus, but before us stood the entire army of the factions and the humans. Urgi is a signal to attack, and all the demons against us was stupid because they were flies to us, and if they were, they fell very easily against the common evil dragons. The demons of Purgatory, having more combat experience, rotated them very quickly. I fought against the three dragon gods, but they fell against me, and I stole half of their power, thus becoming a being superior to all. I fought against God, haha, it was funny to see his face of fury as he watched his children fall against us. His attacks were nothing against me until finally I managed to defeat him and also take away almost half of his power. If not, the supreme dragon god, the king of all dragons, would appear, who fought me, and it was a hard fight that lasted 3 hours. He was very powerful, and even with those stolen powers, I was useless, and in the end, he achieved something I didn't expect, defeating me. He sank his claw into my heart, but I told them before I died, I would return in the body of someone who suffered their childhood. No matter how many times they try to be happy, their life will be a hell. When his heart has fallen into darkness because of the people he supposedly loved, he will return, and he will be the new evil dragon god, he will be the great king of the apocalypse in the whole world. Issei. But I don't know if I'm an evil dragon. Kamish. What will you do then? Will you allow that girl to whom you promised to be strong to be dishonored by you, or will you become a dragon god, someone who will be above all others? You are a descendant of a legend, a deity superior to all others. You will be the one who will end the world. Everyone will praise you as a new god. You will be the supreme evil dragon god, the strongest dragon of all. Issei. No, I won't be like you say. I will help the people of the world with my new power. I know my heart was turned to darkness because of those people, but that doesn't mean I'll be like you say I am. I can't allow it. I want to help the people who will need me in the future. I don't care how many times you try to tell me, even if you give me 1,000 reasons to be an evil dragon and destroy everyone, I will never be evil. Kamish. If that's your decision, I can't object, but I want you to remember this. No matter how they see you saving all those people, in the end they will end up fearing you for who you are. Issei. Yes, I will accept your power. I will train very hard to become the new supreme evil dragon god. I will protect both worlds. I will not allow evil to rule this world without a fight. Kamish. Good boy. Kamish's eyes glowed and a black glove with blood-red gems appeared on his right arm. He could feel all that power inside him. Issei. I will be the new supreme evil dragon god, I will make everyone fall at my feet, I will be the new god, no matter who gets in my way I will destroy them myself. Chapter 5. Everyone in the underworld was terrified because Issei accepted Kamish's power as its bearer. Sirzechs. And no. Rias. Issei, what did you do? Kaneko. Issei senpai, I accept that power. Now he's like Nissan, with a power as great as that it will consume him. Tiba. Curse. Breg. Now you see what you've caused, Rias Gremory. Because of you, by not being able to tell my partner before that happened, Kamish would never have left the seal. Rias. But. Breg. None of this, but this is your fault. Rias. Now what? Ravel. We must let Issei-sama rest. Tomorrow we must go and ask him about his intentions with that power. Everyone agreed, but Kaneko wanted to go see it herself, so she went to the human world. Rias, realizing that her tower was missing, knew where it was. Human world. Outside Issei's house, a magic circle appeared with the symbol of the Gremory clan, and Kaneko emerged from it, somewhat agitated. When she stood face to face with the house, she could see firsthand all the destruction from the fight they had. She walked to enter, but couldn't because around the house there was an impenetrable shield with the symbol of Kamish, implying that he knew they were going to the house with the intention of perhaps stealing his power or controlling him. Kaneko couldn't enter, but in her desperation to know what their intentions were, she didn't know what to do until she gave up and went to the underworld, more specifically to the Phoenix territory, which was now her new home. The next morning our chestnut-haired friend woke up, but accompanied by a loli with yellow hair and a gothic outfit. That's right, it was Middle who was sleeping with him, hugging him. Issei couldn't resist such a charming loli who had a smile on her face. Issei. She does look cute sleeping, even though it's the first time I've slept with her. Kamish. You can have a harem. Issei. What? What? Kamish. Don't shout, you idiot. Issei. I'm sorry, but what's this about having a harem? Kamish. Didn't Drake tell you? Well, look, being a dragon you can have more than one girl, but they're attracted to your dragon hormones, which are very powerful. I think this loli will be the first in the harem. Issei. Perhaps, when I saw her I felt sorry for her in that state, I felt my heart beating fast when I saw her, she thought that if I am in love with her. Issei just starts caressing Middle's cheek and she starts saying. I will be by your side Issei-sama because I love you. Issei. Calm down he said, hugging her head you will never leave my side, I promise you that. She just manages a smile before she starts to wake up and sees that she's on Issei's chest, who just lets out a small laugh. Issei. Did you sleep well Middle-chan? Middle. Yes, Issei-sama, I slept well with you. Issei. I'm glad, Middle-chan. Come on, let's go, it's time for breakfast. You wake up the girls. Middle. Hi. So Issei got out of bed and changed, but when he turned around he saw that Middle was undressing. When she turned around he quickly turned his head to the wall, but she knew he saw her, and with just that she laughed a little. 5 minutes later, Middle left the room and went to the girls' room, where they were asleep in several beds. Middle. It's time to get up. They all started rubbing their eyes until they yawned and saw Middle. All. Good morning, Middle-sama. Middle. Haha, good morning everyone, come on, it's time for breakfast. Girl 2. Issei-sama, are you alright? Girl 3. I want to know how he is. Middle. Don't worry, he's fine. Something tells me he accepted Kamish's power as its bearer. Girl. Kamish-sama, do you accept being in Issei-sama's body? Middle. Yes, change and go to the table for breakfast. They all nodded and got out of bed to do it, and when they finished, each one started taking off her clothes until they were naked. Girl. Hey, what do you think will happen in the future? Everyone sees her. Girl. I'm saying, what do you think will happen? Will we be able to live here with Issei-sama? Or live like before? A 16-year-old girl, the same height as Ravel, tells her. Don't worry, I think Issei-sama will accept us. You saw how he cared about us when he asked Gabriel to hand us over, and that means he cares about us a lot. Girl 7. If he should appreciate us. Girl. Do you think we'll ever be able to be in his heart? Girl 9. Maybe, but you shouldn't say that yet, you're a bit too young for that. Girl. I know, but even though I'm a girl, I'd like to try with Issei-sama someday. All. Yes, we all want the same thing. Girl. Wow, and I thought I was the only one. They all started laughing until they changed into normal clothes or some into kimonos. When they left the room they went straight to the kitchen where Issei was finishing serving breakfast for everyone. When the last plate was ready, he used his power to levitate the chopsticks to the table with 5 jugs of orange juice. Middled, who also helped in the kitchen, went to Issei and hugged him tightly. All. Good morning, Issei-sama. Issei, seeing them happy, couldn't help but smile too. Issei. Good morning everyone. They all went straight to the table where they sat down and started eating, just like Issei and Middled, but one of them spoke. Issei-sama, what are you doing with your new power? The others were asking themselves that same question, and they all turned to look at Issei. Issei. Well, I have to help a lot of people. I have to protect innocent people, both in the human world and in the underworld. I have a feeling that in the not too distant future, we will have to face an enemy with the same power as me. Girl 9. Is there anyone more powerful than you? Issei. Maybe he will, but if he tries to destroy the world, we will defeat him. They all nodded and then continued eating. When they finished, Issei told them all that he was going to the academy, but not before asking them all something. Issei. Can you tell me your names please? Girl 1. My name is Tina. Tina was a girl the size of Kaneko with cream-colored hair and gray eyes like Black Bullied, age 13. Girl. 2. My name is Yuri. Yuri is a girl with dark brown hair, green eyes, and skin like Issei's. She is 12 years old. Girl 3. My name is Light. Luz is a 14-year-old girl with green hair and amber eyes, of Asian stature. Girl 4. My name is Lilim. Lilim is a girl with white hair, hazel eyes, and braids, she's like Trinity 7, 14 years old. Girl 5. My name is Sarah. Sarah is a 15-year-old girl, the same height as Ravel, with black hair. Girl 6. My name is Cirrus. Cirrus is about the same height as Middled, has brown hair and amber eyes, and is 13 years old. Girl 7. My name is Alice. Alice is a girl the same size as Kaneko in Asia, with white hair and gray eyes. She is 15. Girl 8. My name is Gwen. Gwen has orange hair and green eyes, is the same size as Kaneko, and is 12 years old. Girl 9. My name is Makoto. Makoto, gray hair, brown eyes, and 14 years old. Girl 10. Katori. Katori, age 15, with yellow hair and blue eyes. Girl 11. My name is Ilya. Ilya has white hair, red eyes, and pale skin, like Arturia Pendergans. Young 12. My name is Arturia. Arturia is a girl with yellow hair, green eyes, and skin like Issei's. Girl 13. I am Kuoh. Kuoh is a girl with brown hair, 2 pigtails, and green eyes. Girl 14. I am Stella. Estella is a 14-year-old girl with blue eyes and black hair. Girl 15. I Render. Render is an 11-year-old girl with short white hair and black eyes. Girl 16. I am Luna and she is my sister Celestia. Luna has hair as black as night, blue eyes, and is 15 years old. Celestia has white hair with red and pink streaks and is 14 years old. Issei. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all, and I appreciate your concern for me. Lilim. We hardly slept because of your health, Issei-sama. Issei. Don't worry Lilim, I'm fine. Kamish gave me her power, and now I can protect you all from any harm. Ilya. Issei-sama, can we live with you? Issei. Of course, why not? Now you're like little sisters to me. They all remained silent while tears flowed and they ran straight to him until they knocked him down while saying thank you, that they loved him and many other things, to which he could only smile. When everyone had finished breakfast, Issei went with Middle to the academy to register her and have her attend today. Rias and the others prepared to leave, but they had a bad feeling about Kamish. Being an evil dragon god, he was superior to any other dragon god and even Trixia. Once Rias was ready, she and her entourage, along with Razors, went directly to the academy because they had enrolled the Phoenix entourage to attend and adapt to the human world. The Gremory symbol appears in an alley and everyone comes out wearing their uniforms. Kaneko. Do you think Issei-senpai comes to the academy? Rias. It's most likely Kaneko, he'll come, he wouldn't miss it. Dania. I hope to see Ani-chan, so I can apologize to him for lying to him and hiding this. Max. If none of this were happening, we wouldn't have told each other before and Kamish would still be sealed. Greg. In fact, the seal I put on it was already broken. Tiamat. If every time she got angry or something the seal cracked a little, but what she was doing made it crack more. Morgat. It's surprising that he's in that body. No one has ever been able to withstand 2 Longinus in one. Rias. What happens when you have 2 Longinus in a single body? Morgat. He may die, but it seems he tolerates it very well. He is very resistant to such great apocalyptic power. Ravel. Well, we must go to the academy. They all nodded and went, but when they saw Issei they smiled, but their expressions changed to serious when they saw him with a fallen angel, while they held hands and talked. Everyone. What's a fallen angel doing with him? End of chapter. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.